everybody, it's the Blissful Chef. I am here at my bookshelf and I am about to plan a meal for some friends for spring. We've just started having beautiful warm weather and I want to plan a meal based on what is growing right now. So I want to show you my process. There's a couple of ways you can do this. You can either look up recipes out of your cookbooks and plan the meal and then go to the store and get everything. Or what I like to do is I go to the farmer's market and I just look around and get inspired by the different vegetables and colors and things that are available, and I just buy a bunch of stuff and then I come home and then I look for recipes that have those items in it. So the first one is probably the easiest thing to do if you're new to vegan cooking or to seasonal cooking. So that's what we're going to do today. I do have some produce that was in my fridge that I want to use up. So I'm going to keep those things in mind when I'm looking through my cookbooks to plan the meal. So since this is a special meal for friends, I'm going to make more food than I normally would for myself. So I'd like to do maybe an appetizer or a soup, and since it is warmer, maybe we can do a chilled soup, and then a main meal. And for my main meals, I like to include a whole grain, a vegetable, and then a protein dish, and then we can also do a salad on the side, and then of course we want to include dessert. So what I'm going to do to get started is I'm going to pick 3 or 4 cookbooks that jump out at me from my bookshelf. So what I've chosen is Color Me Vegan, which is one of Colleen Patrick Gourgeau's delicious books. I also grabbed Appetite for Reduction because I'm trying to do more low oil, especially when it starts to get warmer. You want to do less oil if you are eating oil, and I haven't even made anything out of that yet, so that sounded good. I also grabbed Clean Food, which is one of my favorite cookbooks by Terry Walters, and I sort of cheated because this is already divided into season, so that makes seasonal cooking very easy because I'm just going to go straight to the spring section and just look through those recipes. And then I grabbed Annie's Raw Food Essentials for that raw soup and the salad that we want to make. I figured there'd be some really great stuff in here. So let's get started.
I had not forgotten that.
So what I'm doing for Annie's book is I want to do a soup. So what I'm going to do is go in the index and just look at the soups. And we have a corn chowder. Corn is more of a summer thing. Gazpacho probably has tomatoes. That's more of a summer thing. But depending on where you live, you might already be getting tomatoes. The cream of broccoli. That looks good. Definitely have broccoli right now. Cream of broccoli. Has broccoli, spinach, and cashews. So let's do that one. So I'll mark this. For Isa's book, I'm going to probably choose my protein dish, and beans come to mind, so I'm going to just go straight to beans. You want to think about cooking methods that take less time, use less heat, and less oil. So you don't want to bake things, and we want to maybe use beans that are quick cooking, like lentils or split peas or things like that. So let's see, beans. Black-eyed peas are also really small and pretty quick cooking. There's a black-eyed pea dish. That sounds good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the black-eyed pea and tempeh bean balls, but let's actually look at the recipe because that sounds like it might be baked. It is baked, and it's baked for about 25 minutes. So, you know, that's not too bad. We can look and Colleen's book and see if something else pops out at us. Hers is divided into specific beans, so we actually have to look. So let's look under lentils. Black beluga lentil salad. That sounds perfect. And it's gorgeous. It has lots of fresh herbs, which is great for spring. So yeah, let's do this one. And then I still need a vegetable side dish. So let's look at Isa's book for that. And I have all those carrots, so let's look up carrots. Sweet and salty maple baby carrots, which is fine. We can just substitute, we can just chop those in diagonals and use that instead. So let's do that. That sounds good. Page 105. So this is actually baked, which I wasn't sure if that was going to be the case. So what we're going to do is we are going to cut the carrots in thin diagonals, and that way we can cook it less. Because this sounds really tasty, and I think it would be a great addition to what we've chose so far. So, and it only has 3 ingredients, which is awesome. So all we need now is a grain dish. So let me go back to Colleen's book. And grains that you want to do for spring are things that are quick cooking, like quinoa. Quinoa would be perfect. So let's see what quinoa dishes she has. She has a quinoa, tofu, and kale with walnut pesto. Let's look that up. 174. This sounds perfect to go with our lentil salad. It calls for oil-packed or dried, sun-dried tomatoes. So we're going to do the dried ones that are not in oil, and then we'll water saute the kale. So that's going to be super light and quite quick and delicious. And then I chose a dessert out of Clean Foods spring section. I chose a couscous cake, which is a wonderful way to make a cake without baking, because when you set the couscous into a pan, it hardens and kind of forms a cake without any baking whatsoever, and it's super quick because couscous doesn't really need to be cooked for very long. So I think we have our meal. So that was a little peek inside my process on how to plan a meal using seasonal foods and seasonal cooking methods. So we used these beautiful cookbooks and we planned a wonderful meal. I hope that that was helpful for everybody, and if you have any questions about seasonal eating or seasonal cooking, feel free to contact me at theblissfulchef.com. Thanks for joining me. Have a blissful day.